stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thing.
Good morning, Smarter Options. How's everybody doing this morning? Let's take a look at some charts to see what we got going. Looking at futures, we're going to be coming down and testing for support here on the 4 hour. Nothing to be too worried about yet. I would expect us to keep ripping into the end of the year, but we see and then we see. This is one of the daily breakouts indicators that we'll be offering here soon, but you can see this trend analysis. You can see that on the 4 hour chart, this gave a positive rating at 44.52, and it's hit its first two price targets. Anyway, kind of a neat deal. I'll be doing a video on these this weekend. I have the comments open if there's any stocks you guys want to see, but let's go down to the 15-minute for a minute. Okay. You can see we were bouncing on support here yesterday, and sometime in the evening we lost it, which once again we could see here, guys, we had kind of indications that this support was going to fail, and it did. Okay, but now it's trying to go positive again. We can see it go, rip into today. So we see, then we see. Looks like we have a supply zone up here, 45.85. But we'll just watch it and then we see. Okay, yesterday, let's look at Google real quick. That was one of the plays I posted. I believe I posted it. It may have been, it was right here. So I didn't want to play its initial run because it started taking off right away. However, when we got to a new high here, which I was looking at the 1 hour chart, we broke a new high here and it started to pull back just a little bit. That's when I entered. Okay, and then it kept ripping up. My entry was at 14, went up to 36 to 40, something like that, and then it pulled back at the end of the day. So, which is not to be unexpected, right? I mean, no reason that we shouldn't have expected that pullback. We had ripped up, say, about 2790 here to 2970. So 180 points. Let's just see what the market is looking like this morning. Everything's kind of gapping up a little bit this morning, which could be, it's not always a good sign because you could see, you might see profit taking happen, and you could see a reversal. For example, Apple going into the close yesterday was not looking good. It was looking like it's on kind of a support line right here. Let me just draw this out. I'm going to turn off that indicator just for a minute while we're drawing. Okay. So, oh my gosh, TradingView is driving me nuts here lately. Okay, since we were following this trend line, we had kind of early indications yesterday that this might fail. So I would expect that this little bounce up is, on very little volume, which we can pull that open and look. Yeah, no volume, absolutely none at all. People thinking it's going to bounce because of it's on support, but it was giving indications of a failure before it closed. So we'll watch this open. That's Airbnb. which I think was looking negative. I pulled this out on the 4-hour chart earlier because I've been looking for leaps. Here would have been a good leap back in August on this breakout, but right now we've gotten about 50% of the move of what I would expect the move to be, right? Actually, that might not be true. Let me go. Nope, that's wrong. Hang on. Okay, so here's your high of the channel. This is what I'd expect the breakout to, the first price point to come out to, and we're just barely short of it. Okay, so actually this isn't surprising at all. So we could very well see this reverse right here. We have earnings coming up next week, so I always get a little careful there. But you can see on the 4-hour chart here, we've been knocking on the 0 line, and it looks like it could very well fail. So I may take a swing on this and do a put. But like I said, it gets so risky with that earnings. We'll see. Anything else? AMD. We'll go back to let's just do at least the 1-hour chart. Yeah, it's been following that trend line nice. You can see right here on the 1-hour, right? It did start to break down the other day. Accordingly, you can see there were several times where this has touched and interacted with this trend line. So the fact that it broke down here a little bit could be a bad sign. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, the width of this isn't very thick, right? So we could be looking at something with as little breakdown as just down to like 117 or something like that, catching, and you can see that there's a verified support line right here. So we might see that breakdown and hit that support and then try and reverse. Okay, we'll just watch it. ARC, same thing. You can see there's a trend line kind of right here, and it's breaking down below. We're also heading for the 0 line. Yeah, it looks like this is going to fall. I'm going to take a put on that today. I should be writing this down. I'll have to go back through this later and write this down. BA. So BA was trading. Let me just zoom out here a little bit. So BA was trading in this big channel, and it was getting wedged up here. I've been watching this one for a leap because I want to see it break out this top side so that we can do a leap and look for a longer move of 205 to 147. So like look for a 40-point move on that breakout. However, they blew earnings by negative 200%. So they did surprise on revenue, but only by 2%. Okay, so that's not very much. But the fact that they were actually better on revenue, but this goes right like the supply chain thing, right, guys? They sucked on actual profit. So we could see this lose this. If it loses this, which this should be no surprise, but I'm telling you guys, but we'll take the height of this, right? It should land like almost right at the bottom of, actually it'd be this height right here. Sorry, I apologize. I went back too far. Okay, take the height of that. And yes, if it breaks down, it will fall and hit this bottom support. Okay. Just like I showed you guys, we already are trading below the 0 line here. It looks like that is going to possibly fail if it doesn't get moving back up the right direction pretty quick. So probably watch BA for a short. And like I said, please in the comments write anything you guys want to see. I've got the Discord up also. And I'm just pulling up the Discord real quick just in case anybody asks anything. Yeah, Best Buy had a nice breakout run there. We hit a previous resistance and pulling back. What we might be seeing here is like a 2-hour cup and handle. There's a nice support right here. I said I didn't like this one's going to hold. Probably down in this range somewhere. Pull down, and then we could see it reverse and rip up. Coin's actually doing okay still. The 2-hour chart. Yeah, 1-hour chart. Looks like we're going to get a 0 line bounce. I mean, you can see how much it's smoothing out right here. Unless it's just going to sit there until it breaks through. But you can see the trend line going right there. There you go. So you don't always have to follow this bottom one, right? Because I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what trend line is. You need to find the most points of contact to show a verified trend line. This is where, just taking time and doing it a bunch, you realize like this is not the trend line right here. This is the trend line. You can see that this long broke up, or it came up to this broke up through. We touched here we failed, came back up and retouched, broke through, took off, touched, we're touching again. But if the MACD doesn't swing around here, it's going to probably lean through, and we're going to probably fall through that. And then it would be time for a put. Just keep an eye on it. Cost is doing okay. I don't see any indicators of anything really right there. Oh, Disney. Yes, I am watching Disney pretty hard for a breakout of one way or the other. Okay. Let's see, we've gotten some. This was an opening candle that was not real. It immediately pulled back down into this wedge back here. That was back in August. Touched the bottom, and then it finally broke out, right? And it broke out, came back and touched. It was textbook, and then ripped up. And now we're forming this big wedge pattern again. Once again, there's been a couple times where the market has opened above, but it did not agree, and it pulled it right back in. You can see it was on, this was on an end of day candle, and it was not agreed upon, and it got pulled right back in the close, or in the next morning. So, but we are getting wedged pretty tight here. Facebook. Oh man, I had this liner here. I almost took a put on Facebook yesterday because we were heading down towards the 0 line, and you could see we're on the support. I was just concerned with earnings, though. Like I said, I don't like to play that stuff through earnings because it can totally change the sentiment of the stock, or like the direction it's going, right? If all of a sudden this was going down and all of a sudden they blew out earnings, it could quickly reverse based on that news. Google, we talked about HD. And see, some of the stuff is just getting so extended. I know you guys want to see leaps out of me and stuff, but man, I put that up there. I was like, what is that? That was a fib retracement I put up a long time ago. I just don't want to play a lot of leaps right now. Some of the stuff is so extended. I will tell you guys the leap I'm looking at right now is PayPal. Okay. We got earnings coming up, which I think they'll blow it out of the water because there's just been so much money out there right now, and people have all this money. They actually brought down, so last quarter, they surprised by 2%, and they had estimated $1.12. Okay. I feel like this last quarter has just been, like I said, it's just been going absolutely insane with how much money people have. It seems like they've lowered the estimate a little bit. I think it's just going to blow it out of the water. But, PayPal is not going anywhere. I think this is a safe one to do a leap on. There was a lot of flow yesterday on some leaps, so that is what I'm looking at. Over the last year, kind of got a trend line going in there. We've broken number this trend line. So if nothing else, we usually always go back to retest. I would imagine we retest somewhere up here at the previous highs. What we see and then we see. Anyway, that's the leap I'm looking at right now. Lots of flow yesterday, which I can pull up for you guys real quick. Actually, I will do that. I'll just pull that up for you. So that's what I'm looking for when we do leaps, just so you guys know. I am looking at live options flow, and then I'm comparing it to charts. I'm looking for stuff that matches, right? Because we're looking for big money, and then we're also looking for validation. That, and then just because big money went there doesn't mean it's always validated, but just because it's not validated in a chart doesn't mean big money doesn't know what they're doing. They might know something, right? It could be an insider trading. But anyway, if we go to PayPal here and look up PayPal flow, you can see a call to the ask, so that means it was a buy. Okay. This is just for January. Now they're doing 250 calls, right? Spots at 235, they're 932. It was a spread that they're doing. They sold a put and they bought a call, so they think it's going to go rippy. But here we can look at leaps, and we could do greater than $1 million. You can see here that we had somebody sold puts. They sold them at the bid. Somebody sold $3 million worth of puts for January 24. And people bought millions of dollars of calls for January of 23, January of 24. Okay. And there's actually a lot of, if you go look at January of 23, like around the $300 call range, there's a lot of open interest, a lot of volume from yesterday. So, and of recent with this drop. So that's the leap we'll be doing today. I'll probably put a couple options there because really, so, just so you guys know, when you buy deeper in the money, okay, the contracts get more expensive. So here's somebody that bought $200 calls, right? Well, stock's at 234 already. They were $54 a contract. The reason they do that is because if you buy a little bit in the money, they bought 400, which is equivalent to 40,000 shares. So they're gonna get almost every dollar for dollar gain being that far and they'll have very little theta. The bad thing is if it goes down, they lose every dollar for dollar, but you can make a lot more money in gains. That's why big money buys deeper in the money, is because they want that dollar for dollar move on moves that they're confident in. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Anything you guys want to see, I can pull up TradingView again. If you guys want to learn anything about options, TradingTix is an excellent. That's what we use for our bot and stuff. But if you go to their, just their homepage, this is free. Okay. They have this little school thing. It's pretty simple, but it just you can do a survey, and you can put how much experience you have, what's your option trading experience, right? No experience, less than 3 months. What do you often trade? Okay. Scalper, day trader, swinger, long-term investor. A lot of you guys really want those leaps back because it's better to do that. So so you can learn a little bit more about long-term investing. You can put how much money you have, and you can do submit, and it builds a curriculum based on what the options that you just put in. Okay. Most of the videos are anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. It takes time, but if you guys really want to learn, TradingTix is an excellent resource. Okay. And like I said, you don't have to even be a subscriber to get into the school. They just offer that for free. I really like Trading Ticks. They've become a very powerful tool. Okay. Just so you guys can see, here's their platform. If you guys are thinking about joining it, gives you stock market summary, gives you a heat map, biggest gainers, biggest losers, most unusual stocks by subscriber, and it tells you everything what that is. So you can do all kinds of different searches, live options flow, trading flow, dark pool. You can do profits, bullseye, scanny flash. These are just, so these are telling you from you can look at, it scans these different ones, and then I think it gives you, you can get positive and negative signals from the stock. So you can go search your stock if you're going to do something. So let's just put in PayPal, for example. Okay. It's at trend line support. Volume on the red candle day was higher than the volume on green candles over the last few weeks. This can signify institutional distribution. And then Stoic is below 20. Okay. So anyway, if you guys ever just want to go look at a stock and see what kind of things are going on with it, some positive and negatives, like I said, Trading Ticks is an excellent tool. And they have very detailed, videos and PDFs of how to use their tools. All right, guys, if there's nothing else you want to see, we're getting ready for market today. I'm going to keep looking. Like I said, I'm just out kind of charting different things and looking for opportunities of stuff for us to take. Okay. So, anyway, if there's anything else you guys want to see real quick, let me know, please. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the day. All right, guys, please like and follow us on Twitter. Please like and follow us on YouTube. It helps us. And we'll see you guys in Discord. Good luck, everybody.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way.